Welcome back to Terp Trends. Today, we're tapping in with Mon, a Georgia native who's been moving the culture forward and really bridging community and cannabis in Atlanta. You know him as the mastermind behind the legendary smoke battle events, but Mon didn't stop there. He leveled up, creating a community-driven social lounge that's bringing people together every single week. From Taco and Terp Tuesdays to all-you-can-smoke parties, he's setting the vibe, setting the standard, and setting the tone for what the ATL cannabis scene is supposed to feel like. Mon understands atmosphere, he understands people, and he stays pushing that entrepreneurial energy that keeps Atlanta cannabis culture alive and evolving. In this episode, we get into community, success, fatherhood, and what's next on the horizon. This is Terp Trends. Let's dive in. That's gonna be the next fact.
Hey,
What you smoking on today?
I ain't gonna even lie. We like to just call this Atlanta weed. It's just
Atlanta weed?
Yeah. It's
I
like
like that.
it's like the pressure. It's like gas. It's like the normal weed that's in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
bullshit.
And if you had to rate, like, so obviously you've tried different weed from other states, you see what they got rocking. If you had to rate Atlanta weed to like other state weed, where's that falling in your ranks?
I'm gonna just be transparent, man. Atlanta would be like top 3. I'm not gonna.
Ooh.
Yeah, I won't
Ooh.
sugarcoat it and act like we just at the top number 1, but we definitely in the top
Yeah.
3. Yep. So number 1 to me, I would
Yeah.
say, of course, California, but that was years ago. The last time I was in California was 2022. So I can't
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Well, PuffCon. I went to PuffCon in 2023. So yeah, it was cool.
A word.
But
Word.
I say number 2 would be probably. I want to say Michigan, man. The weed I done smoked from Michigan been like some fire. I can't even
Yeah.
lie.
No, I can't lie either. Michigan is definitely
And the
up
reason
on
I
my
say Atlanta
docket.
number 3 is because we have a lot of the fire brands and strains coming through here anyway. Like people would be surprised that and I have my hands in that. I help bring a lot of the strong brands here. Backpack Boys, Cali Plug, um, anybody, Doja, Fidel's, like a lot of those strong brands. First time coming
Yeah.
in Atlanta, I was the tour guide.
Oh, that's what's up, man. Shout out Fidel.
For sure.
Oh yeah, awesome. Well, we'll get rocking and rolling. Thanks for tuning in. We got another episode of Terp Trends, and I gotta say, got a little shout out from Atlanta, the ATL. We got my man Mon on here,
Yeah.
and he's known as the authentic Don, but also goes and handles all the smoke battle clips that you've been seeing, and he's working with that uplift delivery, man. I gotta say, I'm honored to have you on the show. How we doing?
Hey, I'm very honored myself. Big shout out to my guy Adam from Sky World for plugging it up
Yeah,
and putting it
yeah.
together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are good people over there at Skyworld.
For sure.
They're doing cool things, especially the heaviness they're rocking with Mr. Horton over there. I'm excited to see what they get launching in the next few months. It's
Me
exciting.
too.
It's exciting.
Absolutely.
So, Mom, man, what's happening in the ATL? How's it going in the cannabis realm over there?
Well, right now we in a little space of trying to just talking the legalization of it. Like yesterday, they just was at the Capitol pushing for the medical side. Um, so that's moving forward for for medical patients to be able to get access to that type of cannabis. On the legacy side, in the city of Atlanta, it's decriminalized. So you
Okay,
pretty much can have up to 2 ounces without it being a crime.
that's pretty good.
Hmm.
And have you found like they stay true to that? Do people feel still kind of uneasy smoking and having shit on them or packs like in the city? Like, so I'm from Philly, and Philly, like, weed was always kind of allowed, you know? Like I remember being
Absolutely.
like 15, skateboarding, smoking J's, and never felt weird in the city. But as soon as I
Yep.
went out of the city, I knew I had to keep everything on lock. You
And
know what I
that's
mean?
exactly
So
how Atlanta is. The city limits. As long as you're within the city limits, once you step outside of different counties and stuff like that, yeah, they upholding Georgia state laws about cannabis, and they are pulling you over for probable cause and bullshit like that. But in the city, you can walk around and smoke your weed comfortably. I mean, but you do have to have a level of respect that at the end of the day, you just ain't gonna be blowing smoke in the police face, but they not finna really pressure you. Yeah, they not gonna put so much. Like, say, let's just give an example. Say, me, you down here with me, we riding, we smoking,
Yeah.
and the police
Yeah.
pull up beside us. We're not gonna keep just puffing it, but we just gonna hold it down. Just hold
Yeah.
it down. You feel me? And if
Yeah.
we happen to get pulled over, we put it out, we spray, boom. They say something about
Yep.
cannabis, they smell weed, like that's not a proper cause. But yeah, we do got weed on this. We have less than an ounce. Boom, boom, boom. At worst, they're gonna sign us a ticket or they're gonna take our weed.
Mm, okay. Yeah, I've had that happen too, where they just kind of make me put it in the ground, and it hurts, but man, it's a lot less expensive than a ticket. Well, I guess that
Absolutely.
means how much you have to put in the ground, put it that way. But
That's true
luckily, I
too.
didn't have too big of a stash every time I had to do it, which was nice. Did you have you grown up there, Georgia?
Absolutely. Born and raised, Atlanta, absolutely. Born and raised Atlanta, Georgia. Um, right here in the hood, Vine City, everywhere, bro. You ain't from Atlanta if you really ain't lived pretty much every part of the city. You feel me? So yeah, I
Yeah.
don't live everywhere, but yeah, I really got my name and my whole build up in the same neighborhood Martin Luther King from. So it's like I went to the same school Martin Luther King. So it's like the motivation that we done grew up having is like always been like leadership. That's always been pushed to us, like, stepping up, speaking up for what's right, you know,
Yeah.
things to that nature.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is a cause that needs it. Um, I got chills when you just said that. That's pretty powerful.
It
That's
is,
some
and I
that's
don't
some
take it
heavy
for granted.
motivation behind you. Yeah, man. That's some heavy influence right there that's kind of fueling you.
Absolutely.
So what was it like growing up there in cannabis? Like searching for it, the quality of it and everything. It's so interesting to learn what other people went through when they first got into this plant, you know what I mean? Because it's so
Yep.
interesting.
I ain't gonna lie, like, Atlanta is like, I'm gonna just be honest, so I ain't sugarcoating it. Atlanta is known for trap culture. So
Yeah.
it started from a trap perspective. You see what I'm saying? Like being
Hmm.
young, teenager, 13, 14. Um, my first experience was trying to sell weed. First person, we didn't look
Yeah.
at it. Yeah, we weren't trying to smoke weed. We was like hustlers. We like
Money.
shit.
Yep.
People want to
Hmm.
have weed. People smoke weed. Like I said, it's a trap influence. So it's like get you some money. You feel me? I'm about to be 39 years old. So when I was 14, it wasn't like ready to smoke. It was like get some money. So
Yeah.
we was when I had my first little pack of trying to sell weed. Had it. I went to school. And when I got to school, everybody had weed. So it was like, what the hell? Like, who I'm going to sell to? So then it
Yeah.
got to a point that I just started selling to the homies. And it was like, we just started smoking. And we became like that smoking crew in high school that it was like stay away from them. They smoke weed, like whoop whoop whoop, and it was like that's kind of like
Hmm.
how weed really get introduced in Atlanta, typically, because it's gonna be from a trap perspective. Your big cousin, your big brother, somebody around you is in the trap, and they smoking, or they
Yeah.
might say, "Hold this weed," or "Hey, you smoke this blunt? Hey, you want to roll that weed up?" Woo, woo, woo. It's like it's a lot of basically peer pressure, a little bit. You understand?
Yeah. But would you say the intertwines of cannabis in your culture growing up, like that was always prevalent, that was always there? I feel
Absolutely,
like when you get more into that, like cannabis was always around at the same pace that alcohol was, right? So let's not demonize
absolutely,
just cannabis. We grew up with that, but we also grew up with like, we got alcohol around us, we got people doing other things. So
absolutely.
would you say that's kind of how it was with you too?
Yeah, cannabis always was like accepted. Let's say that. You see what I'm saying? Like it wasn't. They
Yeah.
never looked at it so bad. You see what I'm saying? It was one of them things seemed cool when you was older. While you're a teenager, you always seen the cool guys who smoke weed. It never looked at like it. I never got the
Yeah.
stigma of slouched out weed person. Like I never understood that
Hmm.
stigma that people put out there. Now I do know people who just lazy as hell and they smoke weed and that just add to them being more lazy. But I
Yeah.
always seen like the coolest guys who had the weed and they was like they didn't play sports. Like they just was like, what do you do? Like it's like I smoke weed. I got weed. Like damn. Like you got all the
Yeah.
girls. All the girls come over around because they want to smoke weed. It was like it was always a cool fact. It was never like bad. Honestly, just like I don't feel like it's bad now. It's all about how it's introduced. Like we talk. I got teens, so I'm not eagerly pushing cannabis towards teens, but I'm not oblivious to that it's not teens of this day just like me. So it's like
Yep.
let's just let's educate them and stir them in the right way because we didn't get educated. We just was smoking bullshit weed regular. You feel me? Like nobody
Yeah.
never like say, hey, if you're gonna smoke this hydro, this. We had to get like we got introduced it a long time through levels of life. We started meeting different people from different areas. Like my first time really
Yep.
smoking exotic weed came from somebody from Boston.
Okay. Word. When do you think so you started off pushing it, right? You saw the money in it. When did you starting to use the plant yourself come into play?
Maybe like 10th grade. Once I got it, like
Yeah.
I got like a job. So I was like, I seen that everybody was trying to sell weed. I'm like, fuck that. I get me a little job. I had, you feel me? I get me a little. I got my little fast food chicken job at Miss Winters. That was like a big like chicken
Hmm.
thing here. So I had got a job there. And then
Yeah.
people thought I still sold weed because it
Mm-hmm.
never looked like I stopped. But I was smoking weed. I started smoking more, and it was like my grades was getting better. Like it was a lot of shit that weed really showed me that like damn, like I got more involved in school more. It was like the benefits of it. I can honestly say, in ninth grade of me trying to sell weed, I damn near was finna fail. By the time I got into 10th grade and I started actually just smoking kind of like regularly once a week after school and stuff like that, I started being more focused in school. I started being, you see what I'm saying? Like it
Yeah.
actually worked for me. I can't speak for everybody else.
Yeah. No, I can relate to that. I mean, I use it for attention deficit, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
And I noticed that especially when I was in school. It was the only thing that makes me feel like me and it's able for me to slow down and then put
absolutely.
like my tunnel vision on. And that's what you need in academia these days is like they just take a melting pot of individuals and throw them into this structure thinking that that's what's going to happen and like yo we're all wild, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I was definitely one of those kids where it's like I can't sit in this room and just listen to you preach stuff that I don't think is
Me.
valuable. You know what I mean? So,
Absolutely.
and I was on other things to help like Adderall and things like that, and it just never really aligned with me. And then when I found cannabis, I mean, I found it at a really young age, but when I started using it more that way, like I felt the same way you're saying right now. I was able to kind of manage that time a little better and put myself through that regimen when maybe I just wasn't wanting to do that without it. You know, maybe that's stubbornness, maybe that's the plant doing its thing because it does make you more chill.
Yep.
Um, I'll never know, but I'll always be smoking. There's never not smoking going on with me.
That's right.
So
Same way.
it's it's wild how that plant does what it does and the way that we approach it with the youth, right? Because you and I, we were youngins when we started consuming this plant, and it was deemed a whole different way than it is now. Like now we got
Absolutely.
legalities, we got states on board, and you mentioned, you got kids yourself. How is it managing their expectations and your knowledge and still letting that play hand in hand with cannabis?
Well, my number one thing is not smoking with them.
Yeah, I dig that.
That's like probably like the number one thing. Number two would be like not trying to educate them. They don't need so much education about it. They need more demonstration. So they see how I'm moving and I'm doing things and I'm handling business and I'm still going about life and handling things. It shows them that that's better. You getting a clear demonstration that you're not allowed to just want to. Okay, let's say it like this. My thing is earn your blunt. That's my
Yeah,
phrase. Earn your blunt.
yeah,
You have to
that's cool.
earn the opportunity to smoke. Everybody, we all do. You see what I'm saying? Like, so once we
Yeah,
kind of teach the youth that, like, go to school, get done with school, get out of school, do your homework, and then maybe it may be some weed left on the dresser for you. You see what I'm saying? Like, but don't try to smoke before school, and then now you don't feel like going to school, and then you done skip school, and then now you
Yeah.
got bad grades. It's like those are the things we kind of want to start teaching our youth. Like, if because you can't beat them down and say, "Hey, don't smoke," especially if you smoke. Now, if
Yeah.
you smoke, that's like the most stupidest shit ever to like try to tell somebody young not to smoke.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
It's crazy.
100%. And I
Like,
and I always think it's wild because I'll talk about me for a minute. So I don't have kids. I got plenty of nieces and nephews, but
yep,
my friends, my homies, like they're now at that age where they have kids, right? So we're around it. And me, some of them are open with cannabis and some of them we stay closed. But even the ones that are open, like we'll be around the fire and they're just like, yo, like let's spark this joint and like their kids are running around and I'm just like, man, like yeah, it should be normalized. I don't think I should have an issue with it. I think if people are okay with cracking wine and cracking beers and showing the youth alcohol, then I should be more than happy to consume cannabis and teach them that way because I think alcohol is gnarly. I think
it's
that's the wildest drug that people can take and like we all can well I don't consume it but like
me
majority
neither.
of people consume it.
Yep,
Um and it blows my mind that that's our preference to show kids other than this plant. And I wonder when that's going to morph, but it's interesting how cannabis comes to play in the household. And what that looks like for everybody. But I do agree with you should earn your blunt. Um, I think it's more rewarding, especially at nighttime when you get to reflect on your day. You had
yep,
a long day, especially kids in school and all the
yep.
shit they deal with nowadays that you and I will never
Absolutely,
even understand, man.
absolutely.
Um, it's important for them to come back and be in their safe space because every kid deserves that. And I think it's nice that you're able to listen to them and understand that and give that to them. Because I think there's a lot of kids that struggle with cannabis and their parents not understanding that, like, this plant's not a demonized plant. Yeah, it may produce some outcomes that you may not agree with, but that could be under just lack of guidance or lack of knowledge or
Absolutely.
educating. Um,
Yes.
so it's on us, especially you as that father figure, to teach that to the kids and to the youth. I mean, once my niece got to a certain age, I talked to her about cannabis, and I didn't want her kind of sourcing anything off
Yes.
the streets.
Yes.
I was like, yo, I know how dirty these carts can be. I know how dirty people grow their weed if they don't care about it. Um,
Absolutely.
so then I kind of came into play. I was like, I'll help you get whatever you need under my guidance. We're not gonna
Absolutely.
get too crazy, but I at
Yep.
least want you to have clean stuff and have a healthy relationship with this plant.
That's right.
Unlike my approach when I was a kid. Now
Absolutely.
that I'm reflecting, I don't think it was the most healthiest
No,
relationship,
it
you
wasn't. Like
know?
you said, you said sourcing. That was like the craziest thing we had to do it when we was young for weed. We had
Yeah.
to almost like be tapped in, or you had to like just like literally source. You had to know somebody, or it was crazy.
Yep.
Like, and it's just as
Yeah.
crazy as now because it's more surplus of weed. So it's like surplus of bad shit. So it's like kids
Yep.
can get bad carts. Kids can get old molded weed or what
Yeah.
we call spray weed, this extra Turk bullshit. You see what I'm saying? It's
Yes.
like I educate
Oh,
them on that too. It's like every time I be like, nah, they'll be like they'll have some Turk. I'm like, man, put that shit up. This real weed. I smoke. I make sure they I make them roll as many blunts as they want so they can feel it and be like, you see how high you was and the difference and how you feel better. Like that shit, that Turk shit, that shit. It's fucking with your chest. It's a lot of shit that you know that it's doing to you and they think it's cool because when you think about it, to me, Turk is like the bad name cannabis. That's what's gonna solidify people's like hindrance with children or any kind of anybody smoking cannabis because it's like I hear that they saying this weed that's sprayed on, whoop 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 whoop, and is
yep.
that fentanyl? Da, 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 da. It's like they add all these we for madness type of push
Stigmas to it.
to that weed when you
Yeah.
have bad cannabis out here. So I'm not gonna act like it's not bad cannabis because it is, and we need to get rid of that.
Yeah. And we fortunately we didn't have to go through the era of these sprayed packs. We just had to go through the era of mids, a
That's
whole lot of mids
exactly.
until you finally found heady weed. I remember the first time I found heady weed, my boy came over and it was some train wreck and he like
Mm,
had this crazy glass piece with all these freaking bubbles in it and like three different chambers and he's like, "Yo, I got this weed from my cousin." And we sparked up like right outside my basement door while my parents are home. Like I was just so excited.
yep.
And like I'm pretty sure I got in trouble that night for that reason. But at that moment I was like, if this is what good weed is and it takes this long to get here, like what could be out there right now? And
Yeah.
that is what sparked my journey of like, all right, I need to dig into this plant more, man. And then I started getting into hash and getting into all that shit and like how to be
Fine.
more natural, right? Because then you
Yep.
started realizing like people don't always take the same care in their garden as the last guy you had. And
That's
then you
right.
can start grading and learning that like, all right, people are kind of manipulating these plant that's not really good for my body.
That's
Why
right.
is that? What does that look like? So I'm sure in Atlanta, because Philly went through it, I'm sure you guys had to go through shit like that too,
Oh yeah.
you know?
No, it wasn't always fireweed. I mean, it always was to a degree if you was like a big time dope boy. If you was like, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, but if you was just a regular smoker just trying to get some weed, yeah, you typically was smoking regular. Then it got to mid, then it got to hydro. Then you
Yeah.
had like you said, the train wrecks, the white widows, and the silver haze, and all these kind of the
Whew.
cherry original cherry pie. Like a lot of those strands came through Atlanta early 2002, 2003, 2004. That's when I started smoking like what people call exotic or just high grade
Yeah.
weed, right? So around 2003, 2004, I was here. By 2005, Irene was here. You see what I'm saying? So we was just
Yeah.
smoking crazy Irene by then. So it was like '08. Like by '08, it wasn't even no more mid in Atlanta no more. It's like it was just high level weed. That's why I said people don't be understanding. Like Atlanta always we always been there because you got to think we got a lot of Cali people here. We always had a lot of people
Yeah.
from Florida here. We all and those are two of the best growers country statewide. You see what I'm saying? That's been known that where
Yeah.
the best growers come from. So we always
Yeah.
had fire weed. I can't even lie. If you always if you couldn't get the best, it's probably just because like I said before on another platform, it's just because you didn't know. You
Yeah. No,
just didn't
100%.
know.
It's
You
all
wasn't
about
with the right
sourcing
people.
at that point.
Yep.
And I feel like nowadays it's really hard to find mids like the way I
Yep.
found it back in the day. Like maybe homegrown could be some people's homegrown, but still it's pretty decent weed now
It
that I
is.
can find at least.
It is.
Which is nice, but it kind of fucked up the game because now prices are all messed up, man. So it ended up throwing a curveball, but I think it's leveling out nowadays.
I'm gonna tell
Um,
you, in Atlanta, the prices is like crazy, right? Because you got what we make jokes about the China packs, right? So you got the China
yeah,
packs. You got a lot of
yeah,
the
and the
China packs.
Mylars,
Yeah,
yeah,
so it's like you got a lot of those $100 zips here. You feel me? And it's like
yeah,
it's not the best, but it's what people want that they feel like they can
yeah,
afford. But like you said, you
yeah,
do have the $300 zips and the higher end shit, but it's like it's kind of smoking the same. So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
kind of it's a give or take in a way. It's like, do I spend 100 and I probably I have more weed and I'm able to smoke more cannabis and be able to have more, or is it I go for this higher end and I get probably less, or I probably get the same amount but I'm spending more, but it's like I'm kind of not smoking the same. I mean, I don't know, man, because it's like if you're not really sourcing with your own growers. That's what my whole thing is. I got a lot of my own growers, so I get
yeah,
small batch. I'm more of a small batch smoker. I don't want to smoke
yep,
what everybody's smoking. I don't want to have like I'm cool on it. Like I'm good.
same,
Like yeah, give me the
yep,
small. I keep me 2, 3 small batch growers. They gonna come through every goddamn month or two with some fresh shit, and I'm able to
yeah.
R&D and keep that in my inventory.
Well, I think it's better that way too, because I think people should have selection when it comes to cannabis, and our brain needs different things. Like for
Yep,
us to get the effect that we're looking for, I feel like after you smoke the same strain, maybe like 3 or 4 days in a row, it's
yep.
not giving you that boost that maybe you
It's
need. And this could be me just talking, but
I
I
agree.
do feel like when I try different strains, it's like a palate cleanse, you know what I
Yep,
mean? And then I can go back to like a favorite I had a couple days ago.
yep.
And that's something I noticed, but I was the same way. I always like to have, I just love cannabis. Like I
Me
love
too.
it. So I was always that weed nerd with all different jars being like, yo, smell this one. And this is this one. And people are like, yo, I just want a gram, dude. I'm like, yeah, but like, bro, there's 5 different weeds here, like, you can't just be like, "Give me a gram," like, my brain can't do that.
Fact.
Like, you have to go through this journey with me for you to
I'm
figure
telling you.
out what works for you, man, because I believe in it. I
Me
think
too.
this shit's so beneficial for people, they don't even know about it yet.
Fact.
And maybe you're not maybe and I'll take an even step back, maybe it's not cannabis itself, but these cannabinoids that you need from the
Absolutely.
plant, like, man, they can really do wonders. And now we have the technology to isolate these things and give them how you need it. Maybe you're turned off from smoking or compromise or whatever it is.
Yep.
Um, but I'm hoping people start learning that like cannabis and cannabinoids are so beneficial to the human body
Yeah,
and
and it's
everyone
not
should
just
take this
smoking,
like
like you said.
vitamins.
You
Yeah.
got different ways. You got tincture, you got edibles. We just created our own THC syrup elixir down
Ooh.
here. It's it's one of the ones, and it's literally like it helps you sleep good. It's good for
Yeah.
insomnia. It's good for like inflammation in your body, like back pain. It's like it's a lot of health benefits to it. It's all natural. It's no synthetic stuff made. None of that. It's like it's a new product that we want to bring to the market too, and it's like it's heavy, high dose, 2,000 milligrams. So it's like it's really like now for real,
Let's go.
for real.
I
So
think I think that's the next step for normalization is getting a cannabis beverage or a mixer, like you said, a syrup that then people can enjoy the way they like to,
absolutely,
into the mix because that is how we're going to get more people on our side for cannabis because they're used to
absolutely,
drinking already. So if you can
yep,
give them something they're already used to, we're all stubborn individuals, us humans. You can kind of break that barrier and dig down on that stigma because now they're feeling the way they like by using it the way they like and what
that's
they
right.
know. And that's called being comfortable. And the more they get
Yes,
comfortable with cannabis, the more people we get on our side.
I
So
agree.
man, that's awesome. Syrup. That's one of my favorites. I
Yes,
love mixing. I love these drinks, man. It's like we both agreed earlier, I don't drink alcohol. So
yep,
it's nice to now go into a social setting where alcohol is being consumed and now I can have a beverage of my choice and feel a little more part of the crew. Because when you tell people you don't drink, there's all these other weird stigmas that come up when you say
absolutely.
that. And
Yes,
it's like, nah, dude, I just don't drink. I wasn't like a past alcoholic or anything.
I'm
I don't
telling
lose my
you
mind. Like,
exactly.
I just
Yes,
don't like alcohol.
fact.
So it's nice to now have a drink in my hand where I can just be like, yo, I'm chilling over here, man. I got my drink. I'm cool. And then
And
it
it's
brings up
also
that
about
conversation of what is that? You
and
know?
it's also about like creating those spaces like what we have here in Atlanta, the environment where it's a social 420 lounge. So it's like having
Yeah.
consumption lounges where it's no alcohol anyway. And everybody in here
Yeah.
is smoking or drinking a THC beverage or edible. It's already 420 friendly. So that's one of the things that I cultivated here after doing events here for the past 2, 3 years. I wanted to elevate and stop renting out venues and renting out warehouses and having pop up sessions and just get my own lounge and allow people to come through on a social way where they doing Wi-Fi's, creative people. Like we just had a beat battle. Every day, daily things that are just like cannabis friendly. So I learned that from
Yeah.
seeing what they were doing out west with the Astro Club, Astro
Yeah.
Clubs. Like I've been
Yeah.
there, I've seen it, so I'm like, damn, like we need something like this in Atlanta, and I've been on the hunt ever since to just kind of try to duplicate that, but in an Atlanta way.
Yeah. And do you think that's how you made your merge? Because at some point we all sit down and look at ourselves and go, man, am I really going to make this my grind? Like, am I really going to get involved with this plant on more of a business professional aspect? And what does that look like? And it seems like you've kind of got your groove going. So is that kind of how you found your lane in this whole mix of industry?
Absolutely. It came from watching a lot of that like Vice. When Vice first hit,
Yeah.
the first wave.
Nice.
I didn't catch it on the rerun like a lot of people. I caught the first wave of it and I was like so intrigued and I was like, how do I get in cannabis? So
Yeah.
my first initial way was through a podcast. So we
Cool.
interviewed a lot of the growers, entrepreneurs. It was during the pandemic. From 2020, we started in 2020. That's right when the pandemic hit. So we was able to like have select people in the studio, and it was a real lot of good content. And from that space, we started doing like a live podcast, and from the live podcast, we turned that into like actual pop up session. And
Yeah.
the smoke battle became the leaders and the top curators of just bringing those real Cali and New York brands to Atlanta first, so people can experience it. You see what I'm saying? Almost like a session in Cali, like they was
Mm,
doing. You see what I'm
hmm.
saying? And it was people that was doing
Yeah.
it definitely before us, but the way how we did it, we made it so consumer friendly that it just exploded. You see what I'm saying? Mind you, we are in a state that's not legal for cannabis. So we was having
Yep.
basically parties. And those parties was secured, safe, never had one incident. Not none of that. It's like good vibes. So like I said, I seen how I was winning doing that, but I also seen that I ultimately wanted my own space. I didn't want the headache of trying to find this space, find that space, talk to this venue owner, talk to this person. Like that started to be a headache in itself of like trying to do something that I felt like I can do daily. So it was like, let me get my own lounge. And blessed to get my own lounge last year. Started working, and I've been having some good partners and some good mentors who have lounges in they rec states, and they give me the game and they tell me, how to maintain. So yeah, this is like my way of like adding to cannabis without um quote unquote being a grower or being an entrepreneur. You know what I mean? Like I am an entrepreneur, but
Yeah.
in that space, a sales entrepreneur, and I elevated from those things. Like I told you, at 14, I had my first ounce of weed. You feel me? And I wanted to make
Yep.
money with cannabis. You feel me? So it's always
Yep.
been there, but I had to figure out how to do it in a way that fits who I am now. Because the lounge is based around cannabis, art, fashion, entertainment. So it's not just solely cannabis. It's like culture based
Yeah. Community based, man. I
for
mean,
sure.
cannabis is all about the community. And anyway, I
Absolutely.
think if you can bring those two together, you're deemed for success. Because it goes together so well, especially cannabis when it comes to art, cannabis in music, cannabis in food, cannabis in creativity. And I mean, you gotta give yourself some more credit, man. I mean, you start slinging around 14, you're an entrepreneur. I don't think people understand like the dynamics of what that mindset looks like unless you were actually doing it. And for a kid, because I was kind of same exact boat, that age, getting in it. My homie went on vacation, gave me his box and a scale, and he's like, "Hey man, can you handle this for a week for me? Like this is a rundown. This is what
Wow.
I need. You take the rest off the top." And that's how I got into it. It was just a homie. I grew up smoking first, and then I started learning like damn, I can make some money off of this. Like, I'm just skateboarding and shit. Like, it's nice to have
Yep.
pizza money. It's nice to be able to
Yep.
get a ride
That
from my
same
homies,
way.
fill up their gas tank, like,
Yep.
and just smoke. Like, always have a
That.
joint. At that time, I was always smoking blunts. Now I'm more of only joints strictly. But
Okay.
that's how I got into it too.
Yep.
And there's something in that individual that creates that grind. Not everybody's cut out for that.
I agree.
So give yourself some credit because if you didn't have that in you, you wouldn't be doing the way you're doing it now and grinding in Atlanta. You know what I
I
mean?
agree.
So what's that like? What's the whole legalities around the lounges, it being like decriminalized and everything like that? Are they pretty hands off with it? You
For
kind of
sure.
just apply, get the rundown with the probably like the landlord, unless you own the building, and then kind of
Absolutely.
go through the township and shit like that. Is that kind of how it works?
Absolutely. Yep, it's
Yeah.
all location, and
Yeah.
the property, and having that relationship with the landlord, and it's not a problem. It's never a problem about consuming in Atlanta. It's more
Okay.
so sales, if anything. So we don't make
Yeah.
sales. We're an open lounge. We got food, come in and consume. We got pool tables. We got game nights. We have Uno cards. It's like
Yeah.
be
Sick.
yeah, it's like a clubhouse in a way. You feel me? But we have
Yeah.
memberships where when you get a membership that allows you to bring a plus one, it allows you to come to events. Um, yeah, stuff like it's really truly an adult recreation center.
Yeah.
Bring your
No,
Wi-Fi.
I
If
think.
you work from home, you can come in there and do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think it's so important, and I hope that more listeners that are listening to this, please understand that like the community needs places like this for cannabis. We have way too many bars where people are consuming
Yeah,
alcohol. And if we can just give a little bit of space to the flower consumers and the cannabis people, like I think that should be allowed. And I think there can be plenty of money made there as well. So
yeah.
let's adapt that more. But that's cool to hear that you can have food and everything there because in Jersey and on the East Coast more like they're really strict and kind of lame when it comes to how they blend the things in the lounges. So a lot of people they just have like food truck homies. They're just outside. You know, you can
Same
go in
thing.
there. But
It's
I
the
think
same thing. Like you said, we can't really blend
okay,
the same, so it's similar. Like you said, we have food truck
yeah.
homies pull up, they cook. We have a smoker house on property, so we might put some on the
Ooh,
grill. You feel me? Like it's that kind of vibe. Like we don't sell no food out of the, what I mean, with snacks, drinks,
yeah,
water, the stuff
yeah.
for munchy
Okay,
shit. You see what I'm saying? Stuff
yeah.
that fits the average stoner while they're in there, they're watching the game. You feel me? They want a bottle of water. They
hmm
want some juice. They want,
hmm
some snacks, some chips, candy,
That's
cookies.
cool.
Yeah,
I dig that. I dig that a lot. So how do you think it's going, man? And where do you think it's going next?
absolutely. It's gaining the traction that I need because people so used to seeing me do the big warehouses, big events. So it's like
Yeah.
almost like if I stayed in a big ass mansion and now I stay in a condo and but my condo is laid. It's like it's the shit. So it's like
Yeah.
people, if you're so used to coming to, like, if you could used to coming to a mansion party, and now I'm like, nah, you gotta come to the condo party. It's like, damn, I need
Yeah.
access. I need to park my car here. I need to valet. So the people who are able to conform, they fucking with it. So
Yeah.
it's giving me the look to see that it has the traction to like have it. It's more curated. This is not like, okay. Most of my events they bring out two, three, 500 people, up to 1,000 one event. So
Damn, man.
yeah,
That's a
so it's
lot of
like
people.
yeah. So with
How
the
you manage
lounge,
1,000 people?
it was hard, but I did it.
Yeah. I
It
guess.
was a headache. I'm gonna tell the story about that one day. That shit was crazy. That was a story.
I mean, I'd rather try to manage 1,000 smokers than 1,000 drinkers.
Absolutely. So it wasn't that bad. That's what I'm saying. It was more
Yeah.
so the owner of the venue that made it so hit. That's why I said like it's never the people. We never have an issue with the people. It's always the venue
Yeah.
owners. They get so mad that I'm making so much money that it pisses them off. I'm just be honest. Like that's all it is. It's like they let me rent the venue for a number that they think I'm not gonna be able to do, and it's at a
Do.
low number,
Yeah.
and then I times 10 or five that number that I paid, and they
They
just
go,
so
hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
They go,
they be.
hmm.
So with the
Yep.
lounge, it's more so about just curating like a solid 100 a month,
Yeah.
getting a solid
Yeah.
100 members. You feel me? And keeping them 100 members comfortable, and you see what I'm saying? And then it builds to
Yeah.
200 members. You see what I'm saying? And it's like we stop it at 200. So every year it's like we locked in at 200 members at a certain amount of
Oh, that's
number.
cool.
You feel me? It's like a subscription, almost building that subscription model in real time.
Yeah. No, I think that's genius, man, especially for
Thank
just, like, comfort's sake, like, you don't always wanna be shoulder to shoulder all the time, especially if you're coming to relax and enjoy
you. Yep,
yourself and enjoy socializing. When things get overcrowded, I think stoners aren't the biggest fans of it, we all
absolutely.
kinda like to be in our own little ways. Um, that's amazing, dude, that's so
Thank
sick. So, do you host events all the time? Is it like a weekend thing? How does that work?
Gotcha. Yeah, well, we have daily themes. So on
Ooh.
Tuesday, like today, we got Terps and tacos today.
Turks and tacos, I saw that, man,
Um,
yes.
Wednesday, my wife gonna start doing some with the women on women, like women crushing weed. So some with the females will be on Wednesday. Um,
Genius.
Thursday, Thursday we kind of got it open. We might start doing a cannabis comedy show, 420 comedy show on Thursday, giving that a little steam. Friday we
Yeah,
have the 420 movie night, so we'll have a movie screen and we showing like a funny 420 movie or just a funny movie in general.
yeah.
Saturday we have the game night, so we have all the old school Sonic the Hedgehog, Mario Kart, the new game Call of Duty. Just a full game night.
Yeah.
Cards, dominoes, Connect Four. So, and then, Mondays we close. Sundays we trying to start a brunch, but we're waiting on the weather to get right here in Atlanta. Atlanta is really all about the weather. So,
This episode is brought to you by Waddle, the world's fastest and easiest way to review and track your medicinal cannabis products. Waddle offers batch-specific reviews, so you'll know what to stash or what to trash. It's exclusively available for Pennsylvania medical cannabis patients. Waddle helps you take the guesswork out of your cannabis journey and ensures transparency with the verified product tracking. Download Waddle now on iOS or Android. That's WODL, and take control of your cannabis experience today.
once the
Yeah.
weather is a certain way, that allows you to damn near like do anything any day.
Yeah. Oh man, I need that in my neighborhood, or I guess I just need to move to ATL.
Yeah,
But once I saw your post about Terps and tacos, I was just like, yo, that's so sick. And to just have a space to just pull up and just have that community, I think is so important. Now, is there a certain limitation on age on how you can get your
absolutely.
subscription and everything like
Yeah.
that? How's that work?
It's truly adults. I don't allow no children. You have to be 21 and older. You can't have your kid on the property. They can't sit in the car. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
absolutely not. 21 and
Yeah.
older. Yeah, and even with getting this membership, uh, you show your ID, you have your own membership number, so I'm gonna know exactly who you is. It's like, and it's almost the membership will go into your wallet if you got an Apple or a Google wallet, so you'll be able to just add it right to your wallet
Damn.
when it expires. We'll send you an email and let you know it's about you got a week before you expire if you want to renew. It's like just a good system we working for real.
Dude, that sounds some tech shit right there.
I'm
You're
trying
on
to
the
get it
Apple
right.
iPhones and everything. Man, you're killing it. You're killing
Son.
it.
I
That's
appreciate
that's
it.
dope. So what's it like going from are you still hosting the smoke battles? Does that get hosted at this venue that you're talking about, or is that separate?
Uh, that's a great question. One of my homies just asked me that. So he was like, "So what does this mean about the smoke battle?" Now we got the environment, and it's like the environment is basically an elevated version of the smoke battle. All those
Yeah.
different themes of the smoke battles, like we had we had a 5 year anniversary at Dave and Buster where we smoked Dave and Buster's out, and we just did like we done did something. We had an event at Two Chain Strip Club. Um, uh, we did all type of shit, man.
Yeah.
Like, so
Yeah.
it's like
That,
those memorable things are basically in this one spot.
yeah. Yeah. That's what's up. And what's it look like attending one of these smoke battles? How's that run?
So a smoke battle basically will be like we basically want to see it's a judging of weed. We want to see who got the best strain, who's smoking the best, who has the best edibles. We like it's different categories: best taste, best smell, best look, best hash. Almost like we give out awards like for the past maybe in the past 4 years we was giving out awards, but I was watching like what Proper Adorns do. Me and my partner, who started me and Digi, we was talking about doing like how Proper Adorns do and make it bring the battle of the buds. That's our actual smoke battle competition. Bring the battle of the buds back, but do it like from an online perspective where it doesn't require
Yeah.
crowds and it just we can send out judge kits and you know what I mean? Like just step the
Yeah.
game up. You feel me? Like because those crowds in this day won't work. That's why when everybody keep asking me like, when you gonna
Yeah.
do another smoke battle? I'm almost like not thinking that's cool
Mm.
no more. You feel me? Like it's
Yeah.
not cool. Like what you said to have hundreds and hundreds of people in a space that don't like that. You see what I'm saying? If you're a stoner, you don't
Yeah.
really like that. If you're a chill connoisseur, if you're a heady, you kind of like you almost
Chilling.
yeah, you want to chill, but we do give that chill vibe. It's not like this old craziness going on. We have a chill area, we have a roll up area, we have a hydrate area. Like we have all these designated areas for people to be comfortable. But I
Yeah.
noticed that I was not able to maintain all these people so many times without well blessed, nothing ever happened. So I don't want to test God. I don't
Yeah.
want to test the plant. I don't want to test the laws. I don't want to play with these folks. You feel me? At the end of the day, I'll be
Oh,
honest with you.
and
Like it's like I beat the game. It's like if you
yeah.
beat the game, you cut
Yeah.
that motherfucker offense and go to the next one.
Exactly. And that is called just smart movement, man. And I think everything's good for the moment it has to be in, and then being able to recognize when that moment's done is how you stay safe, especially in this industry, in this world. Um, you know, you got to know when to stop and when to get out and when to refresh and when to start up again. And I
That's
think
right.
the way you're moving now, man, to a more like chilled, more relaxing environment, I think that's going to show way more promise than you know, taking those smoke battles and those big warehouse parties to the longevity that it could have been. I
Yes.
think what you're doing now is way more on that path, that trajectory of profession and success than what the warehouse parties could do. Don't get me wrong. Warehouse parties are really
They
sick.
used
It's
to be
really
the
cool to
shit, and they
see it.
still are the shit. Yes.
But, it does bring that element. And I feel like to time in what you said earlier, like people are just different nowadays, man. Like we got a lot of shit going on in this world that's causing a lot of aggression subconsciously that I don't think we even
Mm.
recognize yet.
Yes.
And I think it's nice to be able to kind of put a little filter on that and control it a little more, and then through the subscription you make sure it's even more bottleneck to who's getting in here, what's this looking like, what's this guy about, how do we keep this, the same way we want to rock. So I think what you did was amazing. I think what everything it sounds is you're moving in the right way, man.
I
That's awesome.
appreciate that. Sure.
That's awesome. How's it with the community and everything? Like, do they know you for that? Are you recognized for it? What's that like?
Absolutely. For sure. I'm definitely recognized.
Yeah.
But I'm also like a disruptor also. Like I'm yeah, I'm a disruptor. I'm not gonna lie. Like a lot of the things I do is disruptive, but it's
Yep.
the reason I'm able to like do it correctly because I guess my nativeness to Atlanta, a lot of people who not from here, they not able to move the way I am based on the fact that I
Yeah.
grew up here. I know a lot of people here. Um, I know a lot of people in the cannabis community. I know a lot of the lawmakers. I know a lot of the advocacy people. I know a lot. Like I'm really like with everything. I'm tapped in with everybody. So it's like, and I know how to highlight everybody. You see what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
highlight is never on me, even though we got the smoke battle logo and it's our brand, but the highlight is the community. The highlight is the plant.
Yep.
The highlight is coming together. So if I'm known for anything here, I'm known for like laying the blueprint, not gatekeeping, and sharing game.
Yeah. That's
Real
an
talk.
that's a that's an awesome legacy to be known for. And I think a lot of people get egotistical in this game. They
Yep.
lose kind of touch. They lose kind of touch of what their morals start, what their moral goals were in the beginning when they start moving certain ways and, maybe getting recognized or putting things together. Like that can
Yep.
go to someone's head, especially if you're pushing shit and you're
Yep.
getting a certain bag on you. Like that can corrupt a lot of people. I'm sure you've seen it firsthand, you
Absolutely,
know?
I have, and I'm gonna be honest. Like I I could have came close to that stage, but I understood that um I always knew the root of what I did this for. You feel me? I didn't do it
Yeah.
for a sense of being popular or none of that. I did it simply for me to create my own lane. So as long as I know I got my own lane, I never have to worry about what nobody doing. I'm always gonna constantly create in this lane. Like that's why it's like I say, we started as a podcast and we went to
Yeah.
events. Now we in a lounge status. So the next stage is gonna be franchising these lounges into other cities and
Yeah.
states. You know what I mean? Like,
That was my follow-up question. I mean, everything you're doing is kind of like the next step. You learn from it and then you transcend it. You learn from it and you transcend it. So is that kind of your next thing you're wrapping your head around is how do I get this into like a more franchise type deal?
absolutely. Watching the movie The Founder. You ever seen The Founder?
No, but I'm gonna write it down.
Yeah, well, I want you to check out The Founder. It's the story about the guy who really took over McDonald's. So McDonald's was a
Okay.
whole thing itself, but this guy, I forgot his name, but he turned McDonald's Corporation into
Yeah.
a real estate company. So when he franchised with people, he was buying the real estate and people was paying him a franchise fee. So he owned the land that the McDonald's was on and people was paying him a franchise fee. So it was like,
Whew.
I learned that game. I was like, whoa. So I'm like, that's kind of what I'm gonna do with the lounges is like get into these rec spaces and show them like if I'm doing it here in Atlanta, you not gonna tell me you can't do it. We gonna do it. We're gonna find the
Yeah.
land, we're gonna find the building, we're gonna go in, and it's gonna work because it's not a dispensary, it's not no sales, it's not none of that shit. It's a literally a social spot. It's a Wi-Fi cafe. We sell
Yep.
Wi-Fi. When people come in, they paying $10 to use the Wi-Fi.
Yep. And I
It's
think
no
that's a
different from
great point.
Starbucks.
If you can make this last in Atlanta, I think you got a really good understanding of how to make it successful anywhere else.
I
You know,
agree. Thank you.
and I think when people see the way you're moving there, why would they not want to adapt and listen to the way you're bringing business to them? You know what I'm saying?
Facts. I agree.
Man. So, are you more of a flower smoker?
I'm more of a flower for sure every day, but I like crumble.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
like I say, I'm more on the TAC lean. Like I
Yeah.
like the vibe of just pouring up and just getting that same feeling without smoking as much. That make me
Yeah.
feel
No, I've
that
been
gives me a good body high that I feel like it don't be so much when you keep smoking and smoking and smoking. It's like you high, you know, you got creativity,
yeah.
you got stuff going on, but
And I feel like we got in at a young age, right? So at this point, if I'm smoking flower, like I could just smoke flower and it's normal. Like I could smoke flower throughout my whole day. I probably
yep,
hit my plateau at like 3 or 4 joints in, but that doesn't mean like I can't stop. Like I can still consume it throughout the day. And that's
yeah,
once I started realizing that, I got more into like the hash rosin, like the more solventless hash and things like that.
absolutely.
And that's what I've been loving it, man. I love rosin. I've actually adapted that, and I very rarely are smoking joints these days because of my lungs for some reason. But I do miss it, man. So I love it. I love that you're puffing. I love hearing it. Maybe I'll roll up tonight just for your sake, just for my man.
And
Pull
like
in
you
the air,
said,
man.
I typically dab like my co-host and my partner with the smoke battle. He's a true heady. So anytime I'm around
Yeah.
him, he gonna make sure I'm dabbing. He gonna make sure that I'm hitting the dab. He gonna make sure I'm hitting the bong. He gonna have the dabber. He got the puffco. He got everything. He not
Yeah.
gonna let me leave his house without. You know what I mean? So throughout the year,
That's a
I'm
good
definitely
friend.
gonna yeah, I'm gonna hit some rising at least 5 times a year. So
Yeah. Yeah, and what's that like? Do you feel like Atlanta is still mostly like flower smokers? It's more flower centered.
no, that's why I brought that up about my bro. Like he's the
Yeah,
curator of the heady community that we have here. So I'm more of
yeah,
the connoisseur legacy, and he legacy too. But he's definitely has a stronghold on the whole heady glass community, the whole all that. Like I ain't gonna lie, like bro got it's a big community. I think that's a slept on thing about Atlanta with the cannabis culture. Like I was talking to the people from Leaf Magazine about that. we're gonna do like a feature here and just really show the culture of Atlanta cannabis
Yeah.
beyond what people can think. Like it's like literally heady, it's skater, it's rap, it's street, it's this, it's like you're gonna
Yeah.
museum, artsy, you're gonna get artsy people are on the flower. Like business people, like it's just gonna show people that Atlanta is truly is that next um the next city for cannabis to just really get that highlight because we have everybody like all races, all communities are indulging for real.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And that's one thing I learned. I had a guest on previously. He's the owner of Makono in DC. And the thing he said is like cannabis sees no color, and
Nope.
that's one thing I realized growing up when I started uh wheeling and dealing is learning like, yo, I'm literally selling to everybody. Like I got friends, parents hit me up. I got teachers hitting me up like,
Facts.
man, everybody consumes this plant and we're all doing it behind closed doors and no one wants to
Yep.
talk about it. And that's where me, like I was always the guy who's talking about weed. I
Mm,
used to have dreadlocks down to here. I did that whole
wow.
thing. Um, so I'm glad you highlighted that because like everyone smokes cannabis, everyone consumes this plant, and there's so many people that you wouldn't even guess back in the day that like, whoa, you get down too, man? Like you're getting up tonight? Like, whoa, I didn't even think about that. Like I didn't even
Facts.
see you in that category. And I feel like it's so important when people see that melting pot of what this industry is. And that's why I started this podcast for people to
That's what's
learn
up.
like you can relate to so many different guests of mine because they all consume cannabis and they're all like highly functional, professional, like successful individuals like
Yep.
yourself. And I feel like people don't really understand that. Like that whole vibe of what a stoner and cannabis is was so diminished. Where it's like, no, man, 90% of us are highly functional professionals. We just consume
Facts.
cannabis. Like
Absolutely.
and that's what this world really needs to understand with this plant is like everyone's using it. Everyone can use it. It's
Yes.
positive. It's a positive thing to do.
But I like
Damn,
this.
man.
The people who don't want it, we'll keep them. They can stay away. More for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. Yeah. Just don't hate on our parade. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
for
at the end
real.
of the day, the majority of the people that are against this plant right now, they're taking pharmaceuticals. They're popping bottles of wine. They're chilling, drinking a bottle of wine at night, maybe drinking
Smoking
a half a case of
cigarettes.
beer at night. Cigarettes. And there's so many worse things that these people
Uh,
think are normal than people consuming a plant that your body naturally craves. Like we don't
Facts.
have receptors for alcohol. We don't
Nope.
have receptors for tobacco and nicotine
Nope.
and things like that. Like our body has a pathway to this plant. It's literally craving it every day until you feed it what it's calling
Absolutely.
for. So I'm glad that you are feeding your community with what it's calling for over there in Atlanta, man. That's
For sure.
you're leading the path, man. You're carrying the torch, and that's I commend you for that. It's not an
Thanks.
easy thing to do in a community, you know, but
But
someone's got to do it.
I like remember what I told you from the beginning of this conversation. I grew up in the same community that Martin Luther King from. And I went to the same
Yeah.
high school that he graduated. So I understand that what comes with this is like it's not nothing to like take light, but it's nothing like act like it's so much for me because it was already put on me, put in me, bring stuff like this. I should be representing cannabis in Atlanta because
Yeah.
I come from the effects of PTSD. I come from being arrested. I come from entrepreneur part. I come from even if I didn't grow up, I definitely been around growers literally my whole beginning stage of cannabis. I always had friends and homies that was always growers and connected beyond just the street level of cannabis. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, Atlanta,
Yeah.
our whole culture is trap. So I was always with skaters and the BMXers and the different kind of kids. So it allowed me to be
Yep.
in spaces that some of my homeboys went in. So that opened me up too.
Mhm. Mhm. Oh man, it's important to be able to move within your community, man. It's important.
For
That's what I'm
sure.
saying. So, what's on the horizon? You got any events coming up that we can leak to your people? I know we kind of talk about the franchising and everything like that, but what
Mhm.
about more in the immediate future? What do you have going on that we can put out?
Absolutely. Well, next Friday we having the All You Can Smoke party, January 23rd. It's our third annual All You Can Smoke party. The theme is basically you get a meal ticket, you get a drink ticket for our TAC drinks and get access to that, and you also get a gift bag from our sponsors where it comes with a lot of stuff.
Whew.
But yeah, so it's we're gonna have an open bud bar where you'll get an opportunity to sample some new buds, sample some edibles. We're gonna have some sexy bud tenders that are gonna be rolling up for you. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, cool shit. Yeah, right at
you
the
need
lounge.
that, man. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And man, I'm excited we got this episode done, man.
For
That's
sure.
like
I'm definitely for sure.
what you're doing is so important. I don't think there's any more that I can say about that. I think it's just we need more people moving like you within their community, holding this plant the way it is. You
And
know,
hopefully,
if we,
I want to serve as a motivation for people who in red states and red cities and they in their areas to just think of a different way. Don't try to chase a dispensary or don't try to chase what somebody else doing, even if that's what I'm doing. Let me be the blueprint. I don't mind being the blueprint for something different. You feel me? Like we
yeah,
don't have to try to, because I'm gonna just be honest. In the black community, a lot of us trying to get dispensaries based off these social equity
yep,
opportunities and all that, and it's
yep,
like a lot of folk fail behind that shit because it's like you get the license, but you don't got the bread to really maintain it. When really you could have just raised the bread up and just had a social lounge because that's ultimately what you want anyway. You just want a spot where
yeah,
you and your people can come smoke, kick it, but you too worried about trying to actually sell weed. Stop that. We already done
yeah,
did enough selling weed. You feel me? Like that's how I look at it in my opinion. Like come up with a more creative way for people to still pay you without you actually giving them weed. What's wrong with
yeah.
that? Like give them an experience.
And see, that again is commending you because you're able to think outside the box
I
and you're able to
appreciate that.
figure that out. Not
That's
everybody
real.
can do that, my man. Not everybody can do that. You know what I mean? So, if you had to put some future cities that you'd really like to see you rocking in, do you have any that come to mind that you'd be like, yo, I want to be there? Like, that's where I'd like to be.
Um, my goal by next year to definitely have one in Miami. Miami,
Yo, yeah.
for sure.
Okay. Let me
Charlotte,
see what I, yeah. Let me
Miami
see
and
what I can do
Charlotte
for
for
you in
right now.
Miami. I got
Yeah,
a couple
Miami
people
for
I can
sure.
maybe talk to. Miami would
Now
be
Miami,
sick, man.
we can do Miami. I think Miami would be perfect. Yeah, like that'll be the perfect one to be number two. And then number three would be like Charlotte. I like how Charlotte is like a sister city to Atlanta, so it's like
Yeah,
it'll be easy to still have that connection to do that. And then after that, I'm open. Shit, New York,
yeah,
I'm with Michigan,
yeah.
I'm with all the big cities then. But I want to hit Miami second because I know that I go to Miami a lot and I see that they have like the Kush factories and they have like little
Oh
setups
yeah,
down there. Not little
they
setups,
got
but
cool.
yeah,
They
they
got
got
cool
cool
setups in
shit down
Miami.
there. For real, yeah, they got some
Yeah,
shit. Shout out
Florida's got some cool.
The Bodega 24/7. My guy
Yeah.
Yogi, they got some shit down there with Cali Plug. They got a whole layout down there too, but nobody has. You ever been to Mama's Winwood down there?
No,
It's like a
no.
margarita spot. So they
Okay.
kind of got the blueprint. I ain't gonna lie, they got the
Yeah,
blueprint, but it's just 420 friendly. They got food, they got margaritas, they got the game, they got the outside set up and all that. So I went in there and seen that. I'm like, they got it, but they not overly saying this is the 420 social lounge, but they
yeah.
not bashing you if you come in there smoking too. Like they sell TAC margaritas. They got a lot of cool
Ooh.
shit. Shout out to Mama Winwood. I ain't gonna hate on them. They got some cool shit going.
No,
Um,
that's sick,
yeah,
man.
Miami next though.
Look. All right, I'll see what I can do. I'm rooting for Miami.
Let's
I
put it
feel like I
together.
gotta come see you in ATL first, and then we'll go down to Miami just so I get the full experience of everything. But I'm not against that at all.
Nah,
You
for
know,
real, man. Definitely. The perfect time to come in Atlanta, man, would be like in March, April.
March,
Yeah,
word, word.
when it's
I'll get up.
warm and you can really
Yeah,
experience it the right way.
yeah. Weed and food are my big wonders of the world. So anywhere I can go to experience that type of culture with anybody else's type how they move with cannabis and food, I'm there.
But
So shit, my man,
you
I
know it.
appreciate you, dog.
Nah, man, I appreciate you, bro. This was a good interview. One good way to start my day, for real.
Yeah. I appreciate you being a guest, and we'll wrap again soon. You know what I mean? Because I know you're gonna have more to tell the guests and make a year from now, even less than that, the way you're moving. That's
I
one thing I can
appreciate it.
count
I
on.
know it too.
So
Yeah, for
keep
sure.
keep it up and don't
You know
stop.
what we need to do? We need to get you here
Well,
to Atlanta. We do a live interview,
yeah, shit, I'll do it.
and I can kind of like have some of the other people here in Atlanta that's worth talking to.
Yeah, I think that'd be
That
sick, man.
that'll
Little
be
little
hard.
collab. It's all this
Yeah,
plant's about. It's collaboration, man.
that'll
That's
be
it.
hard. That'll be tight. I like that.
Shit. Yo, everyone stay tuned for that.
Yeah,
Hell
we're
yeah.
gonna put that together. We're gonna talk behind the scenes and put that together. That's gonna be hard.
All right.